Hello everyone and welcome back to Everything Me. Alright, so we are back onto the Bible study, yay! Alright, so it's been what feels like forever since I last filmed one of these, since I took like 2 weeks off. Just some stuff just happened and was not able to film, but I'm finally here. I just could not take 3 hours to myself out of my car to film this, because it usually does take me about 3 hours on average to make these kinds of videos, so I just was not able to put that time aside to do it, just with work and life, so I'm back to it. So I'm also attempting to film this on my phone, so we're gonna see how that actually works today, since my iPad's giving me troubles with editing lately, just because it's older and my phone's newer, so I think I should have an easier time doing this, or at least let's hope so. So 2 weeks ago we ended off on Genesis 16, so now we're going to be moving on to Genesis 17. So 2 weeks ago we were talking about Sarah and Abram, how they had no children, and like we talked about Hagar, their servant, and I don't really remember a whole lot, and I'm not going to go back there and read it, so let's just hope everybody else can remember, because I am completely brain dead. Anything that happened last week I will never be able to remember, unless I am constantly reminded of that. So let's just go ahead and let's get on to this. So Genesis 17, so the covenant of circumcision. So when Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am God Almighty. Walk before me faithfully and be blameless. Then I will make my covenant between you and me, and I will greatly increase the numbers." Abram fell face down, and God said to him, "As for me, this covenant with you, you will be the father of many nations. No longer will you be called Abram. Your name will be Abraham." The page. "For I have made you a father of many nations. I will make you very fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come for you. I will establish covenants as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come, to be your God, and God will descendants after you, the whole land of Canaan, where you now reside as a foreigner. I give you after everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you, and I will be their God." Then God said to Abraham, "As for you, you must be my covenant, you and your descendants after you for the generations to come. This is my covenant with you and your descendants after you. The covenant you are to keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You are to undergo circumcision, and it will be a sign of covenant between me and you for the generations to come. Every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised, including those born in your household or bought with money from a foreigner. Those who are not your offspring, whether born in your household or bought with your money, they must be circumcised. My covenant in your flesh is to be everlasting covenant. Any circumcised male who has not been circumcised in the flesh will be cut off by his people. He has broken my covenant." God also said to Abraham, "As for Sarah, your wife, you are no longer to call her Sarah. Her name is Sarah." So there's like 2 different ways they're spelling her name, which anytime I see Sara, I always say Sarah. But her first name was spelled Sarai, and now her name is to Sarah. So I guess you can call them both Sarah, unless there is a certain way to pronounce them, but what do I know? I am horrible when it comes to pronouncing names, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on. Alright, so her name will be Sarah. I will bless her, and will surely give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of people will come to her." Abraham fell face down. He laughed and said to himself, will a son be born to a man 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? And Abram said to God, "If only Ishmael might live under your blessing." Then God said, Yes, but your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant for him as an everlasting covenant for the descendants after him. And for Ismael, I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful, and I will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you. By this time next year, when had finished speaking to Abram, God went up from him. On that day, that very day, Abraham took his son Ishmael, and all those born in his household, or bought with his money, every male in his household, and circumcised them, as God told him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised, and his son Ishmael was 13. Abraham and his son Ishmael were both circumcised on that day, and every male in Abram's household, including those born in his household or bought from a foreigner, was circumcised with him. So Genesis 18, the three visitors. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, let's hope I pronounced that right, while he was sitting in the entrance to his tent. In the heat of the day, Abraham looked up, and he saw three men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent, met them, bowed low to the ground. He said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under the tree. Let me get you something to eat, so you can be refreshed, and then go on your way. Now that you have come to your servant." "Very well," they answered. "Do as you say." So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. "Quick," he said, "get 3 seeds of the finest flour, and knead it and bake some bread." Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice tender calf and gave it to the servant, who hurried to prepare so he can. He then brought some curds and milk, and the calf that he been prepared, and set these before them. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There, in the tent," he said. Then one of them said, "I surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of children-bearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, I now have this pleasure." Sorry guys, I am having a very difficult time reading apparently for now. My brain and my mouth are two completely different things at the moment, where they don't want to work together. This happens quite often. Forgive me for that, I'm sorry. Then the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really be having a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son.' Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, 'I did not laugh.' But he said, 'Yes, you did laugh.'" So when the men got up to leave, they looked down toward Sodom, and Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. Then the Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham? What am I about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him, so that he will direct his children and his household after him, to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right, and just so that the Lord will bring about Abram that has promised him." Then they said to the Lord, "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah, this is so great, and their sin is so grievous, that I will go down and see what they have done. This is bad. This is the bad outcry that has reached to me. If not, I will know." The men turned away and went toward Sodom, but Abraham approached him and said, "Will you sweep away the righteous of the wicked? What if they are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of 50 righteous people in it? Far it be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. To be far from you will not the judge of all the earth to do right. The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the place for their sake. Then Abraham spoke up again, now that I have been so bold to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes, what is the number of the righteous? Is 5 less than 50? Will you destroy the whole city, the lack of 5 people? If I find 45 there, he said, I will not destroy it. Once again he spoke to him. What if only 40 are found in there? He said, for the sake of 40, I will do it. Or I will not do it. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak. What if only 30 will be found in there? He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 in there. Abram said, now that I have been so bold to speak up to the Lord, what if only 25? Oh, what if only 20 could be found in there? He said, for the sake of 20, I will not destroy it. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 could be found in there? He answered, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. Then the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham. He left, and Abraham returned home. Alright, Genesis 19. Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. The 2 angels arrived to Sodom in the evening, and the Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face in the ground. My lords, he said, please turn aside your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go your way early in the morning. No, they answered, we will spend the night in the square. But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him, and they entered in the house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without the yeast, and they all ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called to Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so we can sleep with them. When Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him, he said, no, my friends, do not do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do whatever you like to them, but don't do anything to these men, for they have come under protection of my roof. Get out of our way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner. Now he wants to play the judge? We'll treat you worse than them. They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But the man inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so they could not find the door. The 2 men said to Lot, do you have anyone else here, sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against its people, it is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city. But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. With the coming of dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away. Then the city is punished. When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wives, and out to his 2 daughters, and led them to safety out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they brought them out, one of them said, flee for your lives. Don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away. But Lot said to them, no, my lords, please. Your servants have found favor in your eyes, and have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life. But I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I'll die. Look here. This is a town near enough to run to, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared." He said to them, "Very well. I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town to speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it." That's why the town was called Zoar. By the time Lot reached Zoar, the sun has risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens, thus overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all lives of living in the cities, and also of the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Earlier in the morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood up before to the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward the land of plain, and he saw dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of plain and remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived, Lot and his daughters. So Lot and his 2 daughters left Zoar and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar. And his 2 daughters lived in a cave. One day the older daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man around here to give us children, as in the custom all over the earth. Let's get our father to drink wine, and then sleep with him, and preserve our family line through our father." And that night they got their father to drink wine, and the older daughter went in and slept with him, and he was not aware of it, and when she lay down with him, or when she got up. The next day the older daughter said to the younger, "Last night I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and you go in and sleep with him, so we can preserve our family line through our father." So they got their younger daughter, went in there and slept with him. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab. He was the father of Moabites, a son. And the younger daughter also had a son. She named him Ben-Ammi. And he was the father of Ammonites of today. Alright, so Genesis 20. So now Abram moved on from there into a region of Negev and lived between Kadesh and Shur. There is so many different names in the Bible. It's actually very difficult to pronounce a bunch of them. And I'm not the best when it comes to English, so this is quite a challenge for me, which is actually kind of fun. I actually enjoy it, so let's move on. So they stayed in Kadesh and Shur for a while. They stayed in Gerar, and there Abraham said to his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent for Sarah and took her. But God came to Abimelech in a dream. One night he said to him, "You are as good as dead because of a woman you have taken, and she is a married woman." Now Abimelech had not gone near her, and so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation? Did he not say to me, 'She is my sister'?" And she didn't say, and didn't she also say, "He is my brother, and I have done with a clear conscience and clean hands?" Then God said to him in a dream, "Yes, I know you did with clear conscience, and now I have kept you from sinning against me. That is why I did not let you touch her. Now return to the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you, and you will live. But if you do not return to her, you may be sure that you and all who belong to you will die." Early the next morning, Abimelech summoned his officials, and when he told them all what happened, they were very much afraid. And Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? How have I wronged you? That is what you have brought such a guilt upon me and my kingdom. You have done things to me that I should never be done. And Abimelech asked Abraham, what is your reason for doing this? Abraham replied, I said to myself, there is surely no fear of God in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she really is my sister, the daughter of my father, through not my mother, and she became my wife. And then when God had me wander from my father's household, I said to her, this is how you can show your love to me. Everywhere we go, say to me, he is my brother. Then Abimelech brought sheep and cattle and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham. And when he returned, Sarah, his wife, to him, Abimelech said, my land is before you. I live wherever you like. To Sarah he said, I am giving your brother 1,000 shekels of silver. This is to cover the offense against you before all who are with you. You are completely vindicated. Then Abram prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female slaves too, so they could have children again. For the Lord had kept all women in Abimelech's household from convincing because of Abraham's wife Sarah. So, Genesis 21, the birth of Isaac. We will get into that next week. I will try to film it. So wow, this video actually ended up being longer than I expected. I was expecting maybe in 8 to 10 minutes. We're way over that now. All right, that's actually really, really cool. I did not plan for a 30-minute video for this to actually come out, but I guess more 25 minutes. But yay! Alright, so we actually got that filmed. I don't know how well my phone did. I guess I will see when this is posted and I finish editing it, how well it came out. I didn't have to scream, so that should be nice. But I am also holding my phone literally right to my mouth. So it probably does sound a little bit loud. Even though I'm not even talking that loud. My voice does not hurt because I'm not having to scream at it like I usually do with my iPad. So, yay! Let's just hope that turns out good. So next week we'll go ahead and move on to Genesis 21, and we'll just continue going from there. So this is also, I think, final video in September. If I did not do one on Monday, because this is actually currently a Wednesday when I'm recording this. So that actually is kind of cool. This is going to be our last video because I think the last time I did a Bible study was start of September. I can't even believe we're already done with September. That's insane. Oh my gosh. This year has flown by so quickly and so much has happened. It's just insane. It blows my mind just to sit here and just think about everything that happened in this year and how quickly it went by. I still feel yesterday we are in 2023 in December. I just remember decorating the house for Christmas. That's the last thing I can remember. Alright, so I'll have to see you guys next week. And also, I don't know if there will be a face reveal before or after this video, so stay tuned for that if it has not happened already, because I know that shall be happening soon. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I have to see you guys next week. Love y'all. Bye!